the next piece of what we're going to talk about is staying stuck in guilt and really what it would look like to detox from that. We talk a lot about how to be healthy, how to get anything out of our bodies that's like slowing us down, making us feel sluggish, doing like a green juice or some kind of cleanse, anything like that. And it's really easy to focus in on that kind of external stuff when there is this other element of things that are like really being held within us, and we need to detox that just as much. So your guilt is keeping you stuck, stressed out, and basically bloated with worry. So like that voice we were talking about in our heads going over and over, being like, did I do this right? Should I have said this instead? I don't know. Oh, that like cringing feeling. It's actually it's taking up all of this space in our brains that could be used to get creative, do something amazing, go on the next adventure, get really clear around our love blocks or our money blocks or creating what we really want to create in the world. So how can you let yourself off the hook, even if it feels like that means everything's going to fall apart? And this is really the crux of the work, right? It's one of the biggest shifts that I do with my clients. It can feel like guilt or even beating ourselves up, like having an inner mean girl who's just like taskmaster, is the way that we get things done. That's a really common mindset that I see in people that I work with, where it's like, yeah, I'd love to let go of my guilt, but this is the way that I motivate myself. If I don't go to the gym, I'll feel guilty. If I don't get this done, I'll feel guilty. And the worry is, if I let go of guilt as my motivator, I'll just be lazy. I'll never do anything. I won't get anything done at all. What I find instead is actually it's letting go of that voice altogether that opens up more space, and that's where the best stuff can come through. Because when you're constantly in a battle with yourself, giving yourself this berating like voice of just like, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's like being constantly insulted or constantly, this stream of vitriol coming at you. And just as if that were happening from someone else, where you would probably consider yourself to be in a really negative relationship with them, you feel exhausted, you feel sluggish, you feel kind of like your inner rebel coming out, like, oh, I don't want to do that. Even if it is ultimately getting you a little bit further than you think you would have been, I want to encourage you to explore letting yourself off of those hooks and seeing what happens then, and seeing if you really fall apart or if you're able to step further in. That's a huge mindset shift that I lead people through, and I can support you in doing that. And then finally, we're going to talk about the role here of healing from the past, because a lot of guilt is bound up in things that have happened to us or that we've done that feel like we need to stay stuck there, or at least I know that's how I've felt. So how do you really take care of your past pain and heartbreak, especially when it feels so overwhelming? This image is meant to be soothing, but it also reminds me of this feeling that I've had before where I've worried that if I go all the way in to the place that hurts, it's gonna overwhelm me and like carry me out to sea. Like there's this feeling of like my pain could be an undertow and like I don't even want to go there. Like I can't go there. When really then guilt and shame and even just distraction, and that density really has the upper hand. And that's not what we want for you, right? Or for ourselves. We want to be able to just shed some of that and really experience the freedom of feeling healed from the past. So where do you see yourself repeating the same mistakes over and over again? that's a clue that there's a hook there for you and something that it's time to get support around going in and addressing it. So, where can you see that you're repeating a pattern, and that there might be some healing work to do there, whether it immediately shows up for you as guilt or it shows up in another way? My guess is when you really peel back the layers, there is some guilt there that it's time to shake off. And then finally, what I found is that we often think that being healed means I won't think about this at all anymore. But instead, trying to forget and push away what has hurt us actually slows our healing down. So I wouldn't recommend, forcing yourself to do this too quickly or totally by yourself, but with support, with the right person or in the right program, peel back the veil and actually address what is hooking you from the past rather than just trying to push it down and push it away.